which cannot protect Hasan Piker from the ADL or the FBI from ItsAGundam. Now, of course, I feel like this is going to touch on a lot of things I have touched on in my channel in my previous videos, but it's done by ItsAGundam, so we know we're going to have a good time. Let's get into it, dude. I'm too excited.
Let the streets soak in their red capitalist bloods, dude.
America deserved 9/11, dude.
Ethan.
But they are a terrorist organization.
Get him out of here.
Get him out of here!
ItsAGundam. He's just a piece of crap.
Sometimes
Okay, I didn't like that he changed the intro. I did hear he put somebody else's voice in there, which is kind of funny when somebody else is talking poop about you. But I like the old one, dude. ItsAGundam. I like that one better, bro. You've hurt my feelings.
ItsAGundam. He's just a piece of crap.
Sometimes content creation is funny.
Because since I've known you, you've always had like IBS. You've always been.
Dude, what's with Anissa's husband? Just always getting obliterated by Anissa, dude. Anissa's just coming in there and like taking all of his masculinity away from him. Every time she opens his mouth, it's like, remember when you had irritable bowel syndrome? And then what's the deal with that? I'm always having to like scrape the stains off your underwear. Oh yeah, dude, iDubbbz being a little girl again won't let me pull out the giant strap on and slap a doodly his internal organs. Look at him being a little whiny girl again. What's with her just like constantly obliterating this poor man? It's kinda sad, my boys. It's kinda sad.
She won't respect him.
Other times it's so stupid the quote, "You will live to see man-made horrors beyond imagination" comes to mind. Then there are the Hasan Piker moments. The worst political commentator on the internet.
Unless you want to frolic through his chest hairs and forget all of your troubles, which his fan base and media outlets so desperately want to do.
Liberals are drooling over very handsome terror.
Dude, I love that Hasan's like instant go away is like, I'm also hot. Do you remember how hot I am? I need to tell you how hot I am. I'm gonna do a shirtless stream today, guys. This is going to save the world. I know you guys care so much about all these people who are going through atrocities. Let's use them as a shield from criticism while I tell you how hot I am. Have you seen my $8,000 shoes? Well, yeah, dude. By the way, we should distribute all the wealth of rich people. I'm gonna go buy a $300,000 car. Catch you later.
Terror cheering.
Leftist Hasan Piker after fawning New York Times profile. Liberals are fawning over a popular left-wing streamer who calls Israel
I can't say that they're in. Oh, Jesus. How does he say that on YouTube and not get in any trouble?
and once said America deserved 9/11 after the New York Times pinned an obsequious profile about him. Hasan Piker, 33, boasts 2.8 million followers on live streaming platforms.
By the way, what's so funny to me, what's so like absolutely hilarious is the fact that Hasan can get away with everything. I mean, for me, I'm a big like freedom of speech guy. I always have, always will be. But I do believe that there are people out there that if they were actually just on the platform again, they wouldn't get any attention. You take a look at what Nick Fuentes has acted like since he got kicked off the platform. The dude's just been like, I am a martyr. I'm actually the victim here. My name is Nicholas Fuentes, and I'm actually the biggest victim in the world. Look at the banks won't allow me, and it builds his power more. And this is the problem with like a lot of people who are like, Hasan should be banned. Hasan should be banned. Nah, because they'll just turn into another Nick Fuentes, which in my mind, I don't see the difference. You could hold up a picture of Nick Fuentes and Hasan to me, and I'd look at him and be like, you're holding up the same picture. Didn't the DNC ban Hasan from attending a bid event? Yeah, no, they banned him from an event. Like, he said that they banned him from an event. It came out that it wasn't like a full ban. They just had him go to a different area. And ever since then, his little community will like utilize the fact. They won't talk about how he lied about it, but they'll talk about how the actual story means that he didn't get banned, because it started getting the, and when it first came out, Hasan used it as, look how much of a victim I am, the DNC is banning me, the DNC is banning me. But then when it actually came out, what really happened, his he kind of went along with it, and anytime somebody brings it up, he talks about how he wasn't actually banned. They just asked him to go to a different section.
On Twitch, many of them under 30 and male.
New York Post, what is this? There's more spelling mistakes in a little bit. They probably got AI doing this.
Which props him up as the left's answer to podcasting megastar Joe Rogan. The Great Lady also
Why do they keep trying to make Hasan Piker the next Joe Rogan? You had a Joe Rogan of the left, guys. You had him. He was there. You had a bald man. His name was fucking Joe Rogan. He was your Bernie bro. And you somehow fucked it up so much that Joe Rogan was like, you guys have actually lost your minds. I'm not going to be there anymore. I feel like that gets, that gets like shoved under the radar a lot. Joe Rogan was your guys until you started listening to dumbasses like Hasan. This is what happens when you listen to the most extreme part of your party. This is like putting, again, I'm going to bring up old Nicholas Fuentes. If you took everybody in his little group, the Bacon Alaskas and the other absolute drooler, brain-dead idiots, and put them on a pedestal like they have with Hasan, you would have the same type of people look at them and be like, yeah, I don't want to be fucking associated with these idiots. They're absolutely fucking retarded. Why would I want to be hanging out with the goon bag squad? And that's like, I feel like the same rhetoric that we should be throwing at these idiots.
Flawlessly touts Piker's bro bona fides like weightlifting and playing basketball, with writer Jack Crosby calling him very handsome.
God, talk about gay.
Oh, he's so delicious. He's absolutely scrumptious.
Oh my god, dude, I spent 5 minutes with him, and he even let me, I didn't get to stroke it, okay? I didn't get to stroke it, but I did get to see it. He gave me a quick flashy doodle, and I said, I'm writing the best New York Times piece you've ever fucking seen. Dear God, it's gonna be glorious. I'm gonna glaze him like nobody's ever glazed him.
I can eat him all up, especially when he says that the Jews are the root of all evil. Delicious.
He's not funny at all.
Yeah, it's just so great, dude. It's so great. I loved it. I love that everything kind of signals him as like not as bad as he actually is. Everything just kind of like downplays this motherfucker. Like this motherfucker gets away with so much, and they downplay him and they act like he's just like this like he's just a liberal. He's just a progressive. He's not. He's just a left wing guy. You know. They're like downplaying him, so that when they actually people start listening to him, they're kind of like. They start going down a rabbit hole. They're going down that far left rabbit hole, boys. They're far lefting it out. They're touching each other's buttholes, and they're talking about how they just need to glass all of Israel.
Democrats are obsessed with finding the new Joe Rogan, while ignoring the fact that it took Joe Rogan's podcast a minimum of 20 years to get to where it is today. They always want instant solutions for problems that take decades to iron out.
By the way, this people may be acting like this is like a new concept or a new thing that happened. Now, I grew up in a conservative area, and Rush Limbaugh was the guy, bro. I knew so many people who you get in their car in the morning to go to school, and it was just Rush Limbaugh playing, dude. For a while, I used to put Rush Limbaugh had like a really soothing voice. I never really listened to Rush Limbaugh for politics, but I did listen to him to fall asleep when I was in college. It was like soothing because I listened to him so much growing up. Not that I can't tell you a single thing that single position Rush Limbaugh had. To be honest, I have no clue anything that Rush Limbaugh stood for. I just knew that his voice was soothing and I could fall asleep to it. And anyways, moving on, Rush Limbaugh saw that there was this hole in the AM radio scene. So what he ended up doing was he put his show on AM radio, bought up a bunch of different radio stations across the country, and built this thing. And he was the AM radio guy. He was the man mamma jamma on AM radio. And there was like a fight at the time. We need the left-wing AM radio guy. We need a left-wing AM radio guy. And so they brute forced some left-wing radio guys in there. This is the same thing that happens. And it happens with right-wing people too when they're talking about the movie industry and they over-course correct and try to get that instant gratification. We're gonna have the big thing. Look at our version of Snow White. It's just like, it was just like one of these things that it just absolutely constantly kept happening. And I'm sure Limbaugh was a massive hypocrite. Again, dude, I literally used this my chats like talking about how he's a hypocrite. I can't tell you a single point Rush Limbaugh had. I just had like when I'd be like in college drunk as a skunk and trying to get the spins to stop, I knew that there was a couple people I could listen to. It was like Bob Ross, Rush Limbaugh, I don't know. There was like another guy. I think NPR. I could put NPR on and fall right asleep. I never retained a single thing they said. I just would throw it on my phone and like chuck it in a corner and just be like absolutely plastered, and it would be playing, and I would just fall asleep. It would help me with the spins.
Typical. And you might be saying to yourself, whoa, whoa, whoa! The New York Times did a fluff piece on this dude? Okay, I'm gonna break it down for you and keep it real short. Ethan Klein at H3H3 put out the content nuke on Piker, waking up a few more normies to the Pikester. So,
oh, wait, I got some chat here. Let's check it out. These days, there's a rabbit hole and a pipeline for everything. It's scary, to be honest. Absolutely, dude. It is everything. Is you're Alice and you're jumping into those rabbit holes, dude. You better get into your blue dress and dress up like Alice. Put on some lipstick and go crazy. And that includes the far left, the far right, and the anti-trans, etc. Absolutely, dude. This is just how it works. I mean, it's so crazy to me when somebody will be like, "Oh, they're on this." They're going on their left wing, their far left grift, or you'll see a commentator go far right for a while, and then their content will eventually transition back to what they used to do. I don't ever think that it's grifting. I think that they actually just start diving into the situations, and the ideology captures them, and this is just something that happens to everybody. And I think that a lot of people assume everybody's a grifter, and that's why I don't really throw it out there that much. I mean, I do, but I don't. And it's just one of those things that I think everybody goes through that time in their life where they get captured by an ideology or a mindset, and then they just double down on it until eventually they start catching their own hypocrisies. And when those own hypocrisies starting to reign true, if you're not an absolute idiot like somebody like Hasan or Steven Crowder or Nick Fuentes, all these idiots. If you're not like these guys, you will actually sit there and be like, oh shit, dude, I'm being a massive douchebag, and maybe I need to cool it down. Maybe I need to go back to playing some Xbox or some shit, because right now, all I'm doing is slapping my penis with a hammer over and over again until it bleeds.
I assume his management team sprang into action and paid for a few fluff piece articles to combat the content nuke that pretty much shows you who Hasan Piker is unfiltered. And it would take Ethan Klein to know, because he worked with the dude for a while. And usually when it comes to liberals, they will ignore any sort of problematic stuff about someone as long as they're on the same side. But the literal second they fall out of love,
everybody's at each other's throats. It's like the gay Game of Thrones. I'm throwing punches. Keep up with me. Here's a few more puff pieces for you.
Polygon, Twitch's Hasan Piker.
Dude, Polygon needs to burn. Polygon needs to burn. It needs to just like that whole site needs to go out of business, bro. Polygon's a piece of shit, dude. Polygon and Kotaku are the worst fucking gaming journalists out there, dude. They don't care about video games. They don't give a shit about any of this. All they want to do is spread their giant STD covered lips around every story and just make it about their own personal politics. It's so dog shit. Now, it's not me saying that the other side doesn't exist, because it obviously does. There's probably some site called makes games based and less gay again or something, and it probably does the same shit, but god damn it, is Polygon and Kotaku insufferable. They're like, why this game sucks? Because it doesn't have enough gay sex scenes. And you're like, nobody fucking, this is boomer shooter number 8,000. Why the fuck does it need gay sex scenes? It needs 75 more gay cutscenes. Yeah, Polygon is a disgrace. Yeah, virtue signaling most of the time. Absolutely, I agree with chat.
Piker. wants fellow leftists to know having fun isn't bourgeoisie decadence.
Yeah, I know, right? You show up to like a protest wearing $2,000 clothes, and you're...
And what's with Hasan's fancy clothes, like his expensive clothes, all making him look like he's wearing his dad's fucking work jacket. He looks like he's running around his house like a toddler in like clothes that are 8 sizes too big, while he's cosplaying. What was the dude's name? The Unabomber. He's cosplaying the Unabomber.
$250,000 Porsche. Nothing says revolution like capitalism.
Who's afraid of Hasan Piker? He's outspoken, liberal, he's hot.
Hasan.
So hot right now.
Hasan.
Young men actually listen to him. Is he the answer the Democrats have been looking
By
for?
the way, young men out there, if you're watching King Jiffy Coats because you love this fat gelatinous man who just gives it to you how it is. Anyways, if you're watching me right now and you also watch Hasan, I want you to know you're probably pretty retarded, and I'm sorry I'm the one that had to tell you that. And I welcome you here. I want you to know that this is a safe place for me to make fun of you. I mean, if you thought it was a safe place where I wasn't going to make fun of you, that just goes back to the retardation allegation I just levied at you. And I think you should know that being a Hasan Piker fan makes you one of the dumbest people in the world. It's like unequivocally saying that you think that Vosh makes good points.
The young men that listen to him have such low testosterone that they usually go down the transmaxing pipeline.
I'm transmaxing. Not only did I remove my wiener, but I got a super vagina, and then after I got rid of my super vagina, I got my wiener back. I have transmaxed with the best of them. You can't levy any accusations at me because I've been dose trans, and you can't prove otherwise.
Stop him!
If you are remotely rational and you're not wrapped up in foreign conflicts or believing that America is at the root of all evil in the world, then this dude does not appeal to you in any way, shape, or form. If you're not terminally online, taking a fistful of prescription medications for your myriad of mental health issues and emotional problems, you'll think he's a total jackass.
And it takes one to know one, because I'm a jackass. So as the black kids say, I'm keeping it 100 with you.
I'm not going to do another video covering all of Hasan's wild takes because I'm not looking to be here for hours looking for clips and then editing them and not wanting to
neck myself. I want to
Bro, exactly. Dude, I'm gonna pull chat on screen for a second. Dude, trans has almost become a political movement. It used to be just mean you want to be the opposite sex. Absolutely, bro. Once we left the idea that you're like the whole like multiple genders thing is fucking retarded, right? It's like, oh, but I'm a super duper schmiggle wiggle diggle, and you're like, okay, cool, dude. Like when it trans stuff first started, it was just like there were still 2 genders. You just chose a different gender. It was like, cool, dude, do whatever the hell you want. And then it just became this like giant like clusterfuck, bro. And this is my problem with it, dude. And this is how I will say that it is always going to be annoying, is because normal motherfuckers don't keep up with this shit. They don't care. We're not like, you're not gonna find some dude at Walmart or chilling out in line at KFC, and you're not gonna walk in there and be like, what's up, my Zimzer? The dude will look at you like, the fuck you talking about, homie? The fuck you talking about? It's like, it's just like so weird, bro. There's an actual subset of trans folks who can't stand the woke shit because they know it makes them look insane. Absolutely, bro. It's just like there's a ton of like people who are who follow Islam, bro, that I absolutely hate the Houthis, Hamas, ISIS, all these people, because all it does is make the rest of us look dumb, bro. Not dumb, but like, it puts a bad image on us, so then we gotta combat that shit on a daily, when most of us just want to go about our normal fucking lives and not have to deal with, like, the fact that there's some goon bags out there. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Stop slapping your fucking herpes-covered lips on top of every movement and like lumping us all together in these giant like group orgies.
I say that on YouTube.
But I want you to understand from the bottom of my heart, social media is as corrupt as any other industry of power, without a shadow of a doubt. There are the winners and the losers, and usually the winners are chosen from the left side of the field. You can't be anywhere near the center. And Hasan Piker is among the, and I quote, anointed ones.
Albion Online.
Bro, this is a problem with modern media because of the fact, and this is, I'm gonna break it down, and of course I sit center left, or center right. I sit more center right, right? But you look at the amount of news organizations and different like magazines and all like these reputable groups that they call reputable or whatever. You look at the leaning of like of all of them and like categorically look at the big ones. You will see that there is a much heavier amount of them sitting on the left side, whether it's center left or far giggity schmoodle making out with CNN, right? It's like MSNBC, CNN, CBS. They're sitting over there in goofball land, but you look at like, if you're looking for like center, that probably doesn't exist anymore. Let's be honest, bro. The amount of bias in everything and bias in media has just gone to the way of the dodo. Bias is still there. What I mean is like actual realistic news, just giving you the facts, gone, disappeared, bro. It doesn't exist. But if you look at the majority of them, sit on the left, and that's something that it kind of sucks. I feel like it puts this unfair, like, kind of tilted look toward anybody who might disagree with these people, because they can instantly utilize the effects of like the media and slide it at the fact that it's like, oh well, we disagree with this guy, so instantly he's a far right nut job. And that's just such a disingenuous way to look at the world. Not everybody's your enemy. You can have differences of beliefs without instantly turning them into the biggest monster in the world.
It's all a joke.
This dude has said and done things that would get anyone else banned for life from any one of these social media platforms, especially with the reach he has. Some of the crap he said is as whacked out as Alex Jones.
Aside, right?
Sure.
But he is a person whose only experience is like, it's literally like talking to Anne Frank, basically.
But which one is on YouTube and Twitch and which one can never be on those platforms? Think about it. Left-wing streamer walks back comments about bubbling Republican senator after Twitch suspension. Hasan Piker banned on Twitch after calling for the hypothetical death of GOP Senator Rick Smith.
If I say it out loud, the algorithm will think I'm doing something.
Now, I want you to keep in mind, when he did this, it took days of people tagging Twitch on X and other social media platforms covering this news.
By the way, this is what happens with all of them, though, bro. This is what makes me so annoyed. Is you get one of these right wing guys that'll come out there and say instantly they get banned, right? Instantly. But you look at what happens with Hasan and his cultists, bro. It's like they have to like signal boost it to the biggest extreme ever. I mean, they get a double down, and then by the time they hit like number 7 times doubling down, finally it gets big enough to where they're like, oh fuck, well I guess we'll ban him on his day off, and he can pretend to be a martyr on his next stream. It's so gay and cringe, dog.
For Twitch to do anything, and when they did, they banned him for a single day. If you say that there are only 2 genders on Twitch, you'll be gone for 7 days minimum. Keep in mind, Leafy got banned from YouTube for life for pissing off Pokimane. I got blacklisted. Then YouTube implemented some new like bullying regulations that made no sense because I was the one who had people come to his house. But you know, whatever. I got what I deserved. I was a dude.
Thank God. Good riddance to bad rubbish.
Now, if I said half the stuff that Hasan Piker has said on stream and anyone paid attention and platformed it, Google would have not only deleted my YouTube channel, they probably would have deleted my email account to go with it. So when Twitter saw this, they pointed out the hypocrisy in droves. I'm only going to grab like 1 or 2 tweets. Nobody wants to hear me read these all day.
Kershey got banned because she's edgy. Hasan Piker supports U.S. designated terrorist.
But they are a terrorist organization. Like they're designated. They are designated by the American state as a terrorist organization.
I do not like them then.
Well, I mean, we also called Nelson Mandela a terrorist until 2008.
You get the hell out!
Tells his audience to...
Bro, it's so wild, bro. It's so wild he can just unabashedly just, because the U.S. designated these other groups as terrorists. I mean, I'm just going to say that they're not terrorists, bro. I'm sorry, bro. You're not gonna catch me. You're not gonna catch me being like, those terrorist groups pretty base, bro. Pretty base. I'm a pretty big fan of them. You're never gonna catch me doing that. Hasan just like fully positions his butt in his butthole for all terrorists to enter, dude. He's just like, please, I will propagandize for you. I promise I will be a good boy. I'll be a good boy. And then like, iDubbbz is over in the corner just slow jerking it.
Bubble Senators calls all his critics.
I can't even say.
Calls all his critics snuggles, struggles, and PDFs. Uses every slur.
Kids choose.
I do like that he's reading Nux Taku stuff here. Nux goes so insane. He even gets hypocritical sometimes with his hatred on Hasan. Bro is like gone nutso against these people. And this is like, I like Nux, but at the same time, I have to like not listen to his stuff for a while, and then I'll listen to it because like bro's gone like insane on his second channel. He's gone like crazy right-wing rabbit hole. I mean, not to say that like you can't do that, because again, do whatever you want, but his hatred of Hasan has made him like a super chud, I guess.
He's like Cartman from South Park, but he just has so much more impunity.
You should have respected my authority.
Twitch throws him birthday parties.
What, really?
Ethan Klein reacts live to his 30-day Twitch ban for playing Hasan Piker's content nuke on loop.
Bro, that's also funny. Like the Hasan content nuke getting played on loop on Twitch will get you banned, but Hasan be chilling, bro. And it's so funny that once that got called out, Ethan's ban got shortened by quite a bit. It was like it was supposed to be like a month-long ban. It was like either a month or something, and it got like dropped down to like a day. When Twitter was like, "What the fuck? How is it that Hasan's not banned, but you banned a video that's just highlighting all of his hypocrisies and all of the disgusting stuff he does?" And Twitch was like, we're not protecting Hasan. Look, it was just a slap on the wrist, guys. It's not that big of a deal.
It got banned for encouraging or glorifying extreme violence.
Whoa. That's
wow. That's Hasan's content that's on your platform that he didn't get in trouble for.
I forgot about that one. They also appealed it and they were denied. But enough stink happened on Twitter/X, whatever, to the point of where Twitch couldn't ignore it. After Hasan Piker's one-day ban, he put out a heartfelt video saying, "I got canceled. Wow, suspended for one effing day," and this dude runs.
By the way, how many one-day bans is he gonna get? I'm honestly curious at this point, because he got the first ban, right? He got that first ban, and then like it was like a month later, he gets another one-day ban. Bro's just consistently getting. Bro's gonna have just like every time he causes a massive controversy, right? He's just gonna get a little slap on the dick, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, you're such a bad boy, Hasan. Wait, what day are you off, Hasan? Wait, what? Oh, I'm gonna be off on Sunday. Oh my gosh, dude, looks like you're banned on Sunday. We'll see you Monday when you talk about how this affected you so personally and how you're scared." What a pussy.
It makes it, "I'm a canceled video. Oh my god. Oh my god." I didn't make $30,000 yesterday. Oh no. They're trying to take my living. Now what did he do again to get that banned? Oh, that's right.
Twitch streamer Hasan Piker has been banned from Twitch after urging his audience to bubble Republican senators. Oh my god.
Recently, the ego.
By the way, this wasn't even the first time, bro. He had a disagreement on Twitter one day, and just like underneath a Republican senator's tweet, he just posted the homemade shotgun used against the Japanese prime minister, bro. He does not care, dude. He gets away with so much that he just consistently being the worst goon bag.
Maniac has been on a wannabe revolutionary kick where he parades around on stage at Coachella while someone waves a Palpatine flag to corpo-funded hip-hop punk rap music. I'm not even joking. Nothing says freedom fighter like private jets to Coachella yearly and trotting around on stage, fist pumping your hand.
They are a pair of Irish nationalistic artists that make hip-hop punk EDM music. They sing rap in English or Irish. Saw them live once in the Netherlands. Their music was okay, but not memorable. It was mostly them screaming the lyrics and trying to hype up the crowd to get them to mosh. The mosh was a little weak, but it was fun. Between sets, they kept talking about Palpatine and made the crowd scream, "Free, free Palpatine," every chance they got. All in all, they were fine as artists, but they came across as posers in my opinion. Coachella, overhyped, overpriced corporate event. It reminds me of Katy Perry going to space for feminism, owned by a very conservative billionaire who donated a lot of his profits to the right-wing groups.
Let's not forget when he did some public speaking at a rally or something in these really weird oversized clothes.
Bro went to talk about to like hype up Bernie Sanders and AOC. AOC went from bartender to millionaire just by being elected into politics. That's something I want to highlight. I mean, I don't like the fact that any of these goon bags, right or left, are just making endless bags by just being elected into office. It smells kind of fishy to me, boys and girls. Smells kind of fishy. It's crazy how all these politicians go from being broke to rich the moment they get into office. And this isn't just a left-wing thing. They like to point it out on the left because of attacking, they want to attack capitalism or whatever, but it's a thing on the right too. I mean, come on, they just steady be like hedging their own bets. Like, if you believe they're not, you're lying to yourself.
That the internet quickly found out what the jacket was. Oh, the jacket itself was $1,500. Lord have mercy, I thought that was the whole outfit. Jesus Christ, Hasan. I can't even be mad at this point, to be real with you, because it's so ridiculous that it's incredibly funny. Like a Dylan segment that you didn't ask for.
Women want to be her, men want to be with her. Dylan Mulvaney, the true definition of beauty and grace.
Where's my drink?
Hasan had a debate with Ethan Klein soon after all of this crap, and it went about as well as you'd expect from this dude.
You big, you are so out of your mind.
Iraqis,
dude, you screaming and grandstanding doesn't mean you're right.
Iraqi government's racism during the pan-Arabic nationalist.
Stu, could you make this funnier, please? Stu?
Stu's gone, bro. He's not even a skeleton anymore. No more Stu. Stu has been gone for too long. The funniest thing about that is the fact that that Ethan Klein, known dumbass, made Hasan look like an absolute douche monkey. Look like an absolute clown. He looked like a dude who hit the stream button every day and then just like garbled his own love juice. We got chat. Buying a fake army jacket for $1,500 makes him look more like a to make him look more like a commie. Absolutely, dude's like, how does my fit make me look more communist? Well, I'll pay whatever it takes. You know, you can get that at like Goodwill. You expect me, Hasan fucking Piker, to shop at Goodwill? Get the out of here, bro. Are you a racist? Are you you're probably a Zionist, dog. What, you think you Zionists would probably always say that I need to not buy 1,500 jackets. Get the out of here, bro.
Uh-oh, chair react.
That we have.
I'm not gonna let you chair react to me, buddy. You grab that Dr. Pepper. I'll wait.
By the way, this is a perfect time for that ad to come through, because I just want to highlight that one of the big debate points that happened, not big debate points, well, a funny thing that happened was Hasan was like, Dr. Pepper's not on the list, bro. It's not on the ban list. I promise you that it's not on the ban list. Dude, Dr. Pepper's like owned and run out of like Texas. Bro, they've been just like funneling as much money to Israel as possible. They are on the ban list. It's like super bad. No. They have strong anti-Palpatine vibes over there at Dr. Pepper. And he's like, yeah, I actually don't read that because this is all bullshit so that I can make more money off of Twitch. Hasan doesn't like mixing with the poors and minorities. Dude, Hasan turns off stream and just picks up his swastika sword and dances around in a very pointy white hooded sweatshirt.
No, I said I'm listening to you. Don't worry. I was just grabbing another soda. Go ahead.
Recently, our little champagne socialist that could LARPed online about being detained at customs. Something many people who travel from outside of the United States into the country have dealt with. But when it happens to Hasan, it's targeted harassment. Left-wing streamer Hasan Piker says he was detained and asked, "Do you like Donald Trump at Chicago's O'Hare Airport?" He has this whole video talking about it. I'm gonna do you the favor and not play it. Let me just get to the point already. Recently, another in a long line of unfortunate and miserable events that has unfolded in the last 5 years, bringing us ever closer to a world war, has happened. 2 Israel ambassador staffers were shot dead outside of DC's Capitol Jewish Museum. The suspect shouted, "Free Palpatine," as he was being arrested, law enforcement officials said. Wow. Immediately when this news hit, Hasan Piker was linked to it by Jonathan Greenblatt of the ADL. He called out Hasan...
By the way, before we get too deep into this controversy, by the way, Hasan glazed it on his stream. He never once was, like, critical, like, the narrative that was ran afterwards. But the most important thing, too, that I want to highlight here is the ADL sucks, dude. The ADL is trash. The ADL's always been trash. They are an anti-free speech group. They've always been an anti-free speech group, and I don't like any group that's anti-free speech. So therefore I don't like the ADL. I don't like Twitch because they are one of the worst anti-free speech platforms, and I think that's disgusting. And when I hear people like Hasan throw a little tantrum because their free speech is being like attacked, it's like, yeah, dude, you were super cool with it for years when it was happening to everybody but you, but now it's happening to you. You stand for free speech, bro. The hypocrisy is just delicious, because I'm not gonna lie, when I see people like Hasan in the ADL where they constantly attack free speech, and then these platforms get made and are as awful as they are against like your freedom of expression, until it comes back to bite them, they're cool with it. It works for them. The ADL's like, this is awesome, dude. No one can say bad things that I don't like anymore. This is great. And then all of a sudden it comes to bite them in the ass, and all of like Israel's banned off of Twitch, and then they're mad about it, right? Because now it's gone too far. Hasan glazes up a terrorist who attacks some Israelis and off-ski them outside of a building. This is like a museum, and all of a sudden, oh, I'm a free speech fighter, guys. I've always been for like the free speech. I don't ever stand for deplatformization. Get the fuck out of here, dude, you fucking clown.
Piker by name on CNN.
All of us need to call it out. I'm thinking about the New York Times doing a gauzy profile a few weeks ago.
By the way, it does throw me off how much his inflection sounds like Harley from Epic Mealtime. Now, I know they're completely different perspectives on things a lot of time, but when he was talking, first time I heard this report was like, I was listening to a video breakdown of what was happening, why his song got banned, and I heard this voice start talking. I'm like, wait, why the hell is Harley there? And I looked it up, and it was just this guy. I don't know. Maybe they live in like the same part of the U.S., so they have the same inflection. It's different enough where you could tell that it's not them. But I was like, bro, why is Epic Mealtime on CNN? Again, they have nothing to do with each other other than they both don't like Hasan.
This gamer, Hasan Piker, who regularly employs awful genocidal rhetoric against Jewish people in the Jewish state. Like, extremists should not be empowered. People who spout prejudice should not be platformed. This is a moment when we need to look ourselves in the mirror.
Again, I disagree with the deplatformization, and it's like, well, they shouldn't be empowered. We should like take them off of everything. Yeah, dude, that doesn't work. It just doesn't work. I'm sorry, it doesn't. You can look at that. Nick Fuentes is still making money. If you want to look at like the people who have been banned and outskied for like a while, like two of the main ones are Nick Fuentes and Alex Jones. And the only reason Alex Jones went broke is because a lawsuit of like massive scale happened to him. But him getting kicked off the platform, he was still steady running his own thing and still selling his like boner pills or whatever. Dude was steadily making money. So the idea that you need these platforms to make money isn't 100% true. Now, that's not the case for everybody, but I do know that people have gone to other platforms and been just fine. And if they have a big enough audience, now that they've been kicked off, that audience is now emboldened in wanting to follow them to other places, wanting them to succeed in other places, because now they see them as a martyr. This is the type of stuff that these numbskulls don't think about when they're talking about deplatformization, guys. We gotta get no more. Kick them off. We need to smash them, blast them, and put them Put them out on the side of the road. They'll struggle and we'll never have to hear from them again. That's not how shit works in the real world, bro. Just open up the doors, let all the gooners on, and then let them call each other retarded every day, and eventually shit will even out. I promise you. It'll be wild for like the first year. I'm not gonna lie. There's gonna be a lot of people saying a lot of crazy stuff right out of the gate because they've been censored for so long. But once they've got it out of their system, it'll chill out.
And say, we've got to stop this because the consequences are deadly.
Get back, I do not condemn the elimination of those two Zionist officials who worked at the Israeli embassy last night, and here's why. Israel has live-streamed a genocide.
Yeah, bro, it's not a matter of if Hasan's BS is going to get us all new censorship laws or rules. It's a matter of when. Jesus.
And this is what sucks too when there's extremists that exist, dude, because you get these normies that don't think about like the ramifications of adding in more it's like the cancel culture thing, how it led to post 2016 and a lot of content being all like, you look at content today, so much shit is desensitized and like cringe and annoying and boring because it doesn't have that attitude from what it used to be. Everything's just like, dude, talk in front of camera, be really slow spoken. Oh, well, you gotta spread positivity. And shut the fuck up. I hate it so much, dude. It's so gay. Like, I honestly like eat up the fact that people go wild and wackadoodle in my comments. I love it. I don't care how mad you are at me. I love the fact that we're getting a little bit of that vitriol. Even with you guys, sometimes they claim like, you expect to get big just off of talking crap on the internet. Hell fucking yeah, I do. Hell fucking yeah. I want everybody to just spit their nonsense again. I'm sick of people being pussies and toying around shit. And this happened because of like this censorship shit. And I hate when like all these platforms bow down just because people start throwing a stink because they disagree with the person. It's bad for everyone.
Christ.
Now, if this was me being linked to some sort of shenanigans on this global scale, I wouldn't reply. I'd lay low a little bit, but not Hasan Piker.
Israel is an apartheid state doing a live stream, oh boy, Bako Bits. I think it's wrong and dangerous to conflate these heinous acts. Jews. The Apartheid Defense League doesn't because they think they can improve Israel's standings by silencing its critics. It won't change the truth.
With that, the proverbial shit started hitting the fan.
So, okay, I also want to point out, I don't think I included this, but as soon as the attack happened, Hasan wiped his entire Discord history.
Yes, 3 times.
And he 3 separate times over the last 36 hours, Hasan Piker deleted his entire Discord. Unfortunately for Hasan, the entire Discord history was archived by some Jewish guy and then put up on a website called like hatred.net or something like that. As examples of vile anti-Semitic hatred. And they're all combing through it and finding the most disturbing examples of extremism for the hit piece that's sure to come.
Love games, but hate the grind?
Dude, I'm actually looking up the leak right now to see if there's anything interesting happening in it. I bet we get some of the wildest stuff imaginable. Well, looks like nothing.
Staffers.
I found a bunch of nothing on a Google search, but again, who knows, dude? I know that the way that Google like feeds you information, it's different, but I don't know. The reason I don't have ad block, somebody in my chat's like, get ad block. The reason I don't have ad block is I know that it can get you banned from YouTube and stuff, and I don't want to mess with that. Eventually I will get YouTube Premium, but I just don't want to pay for that right now.
We're in DC today. Just 2 days ago, Hasan Piker hosted a 20,000 person live stream with Bad Empanada, a guy who has reportedly urged his audience to go out and bubble.
Oy vey.
Hasan Piker this week. Bad Empanada and I don't disagree on our ultimate goals. We just disagree on methods. Bad Empanada. Americans, if you want to stop them, take action. They have names and addresses. It's so easy to get it.
Oh my god, dude. This is why I hate Bad Empanada. Bad Empanada is a schizo monster. He is a monster. He willfully tells his audience to do the most disgusting things ever, and these people act like he's not as crazy as he is. I mean, at this point, it's just like, for me, it's so simple. It's so simple. I'm not saying that you can't have these people on stream, but when they have them on stream, they call it like a debate or whatever to glaze through, to hide under the rules and regulations of all these platforms, but actually don't debate any of these guys. It's more of a meeting of the brainlets, and every time it annoys the hell out of me, because it's like, you could push back on this dude's rhetoric so hard, but you don't, and that's what sucks.
You should preach it's that these people are ultimately useless, and you're gonna have to do shit yourself.
You don't drive up to people in your Lamborghinis.
And this is one reason. Another reason why they don't push back is because they know their audience will get upset. And if their audience gets a little upsetty spaghetti, oh no, I might lose the cult-like grasp I have on them. So I gotta keep them happy, dude. I gotta give them a little bit of a butthole touch.
Splash them with mud. And when they go, what'd you do that for? You go, I'm speaking truth to power.
This isn't good for any of us. The fact that the dude from the ADL called out Hasan and labeled him a gamer will be a lightning rod for Republicans who like to blame all of America's gun issues on gaming rather than mental health.
Which, by the way, is the dumbest thing ever. It's like, oh my god, dude, it's video games. Shut the fuck up, bro. Because, yeah, what? Violent, if you see, consume violent media, all of a sudden, you're gonna, go out in the world and cause violence? That's crazy, because violent media has been around since the beginning of time. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
And the affordability of the American dream that we've all been cheated out of. Some will say gun laws, but frankly, growing up in poor neighborhoods, I assure you, criminals doing crimes were not dissuaded by...
Dude, gun laws do nothing. Criminals do not give a shit. Oh, well, where do most of these gun crimes happen? In gun-free zones, and there's a reason for that. They know that there's going to be a bunch of people in a place without weaponry, which is disgusting. And anybody who has that mindset is the worst type of person. They're actual scumbags. They're little fiddle-whittle people, and I hate them.
By the stringent New York laws, this could all lead to blanket scrutiny for any edgy post, any edgy content, comment, video, live stream, etc. We are already under so much scrutiny when it comes to just talking online these days. And due to Twitch's favoritism and sheer stupidity...
It sucks, dude. It sucks. It sucks that they keep putting in these rules, especially when all of these platforms get protection from Section 230, and yet we have to, live to these stringent bullshit policies because, we're combating extremism, guys. We're combating it. It's like, well, you know what? They're going to figure out a new place, or they're going to start a new platform. It's just how it works. Maybe you haven't thought about the fact that you're empowering them by kicking them off in some regard. Yes, their audience is going to diminish some, but they will grow to the same, they will start growing again once they go to that other place, because they are now put in that martyr status, martyr position, which is so gay and cringe, dude.
Of not reining in Hasan Piker for the millionth times they should have, this idiot is now indirectly implicated due to his wacky far-left political beliefs that he touts from the highest mountains possible. The fact that they didn't wring him by his neck when he somehow killed the Twitch gravy train blows my mind. Hasan Piker...
Dude, the fact that there was already issues where it was Twitch was looking at another apocalypse and they were blaming people like Asmongold when Hasan was out here with his insane wackadoodle rhetoric, but nobody was like, but Hasan's a good boy. We sing Hasan birthday parties. We play with his nipples. We love him. We have shrines to him where everyone goes and edges every day. It's part of the policy. You have to edge to the Hasan shrine. You gotta edge like a good boy. And then all of a sudden when these apocalypse hits, they always just blame anybody but the people that are actually to blame, and I hate that.
Piker did in 1 year what Twitch thoughts couldn't do in 10. Needless to say, instead of laying low or maybe taking a vacation till the heat is off of you, to pause and reflect, Hasan does what he always does.
Hasan Piker, star of Amazon's Twitch.
Let's play it.
Incident like this. You could not have designed a better false flag incident like this. I'm not saying it is a false flag incident at all. I'm not saying that. I think this is just one dude who is genuine in his actions and
By the way, this is political creators' number one move, dude. Number one move. This isn't just a left-wing thing. This is what they always do. If something happens that makes their side look bad, I'm not saying it's a false flag, guys. Not saying it's a false flag, but it looks kind of that way to me, guys. Looks pretty false flaggy, if you know what I'm saying. I got my narrative, and I got my narrative as hard as possible, guys. I hate it, dude. I hate it. You can't just say this dude was an absolute goonbag monster. He was anti-giggity schmoodle. He had no giggity schmoodle in him, boys and girls. He was all schlim blam person, and because you can't call him a schlim blam person, all of a sudden, dude, you're making like your entire movement look bad, bro. You're making your entire movement look like a bunch of like people that are just willing to be okay with just the worst possible stuff.
Oh my God! Stop!
The guy was genuine in his actions. Like, bro, what? Hasan, what? Of all the things to say, but to be real, forget it. It's on brand. This is on brand for Hasan Piker. Add this one to the mini clips in the long list that only Patreons and maybe YouTube members will see.
Still remember to cut this crap out.
Hasan tells his audience to lock in and stop fed posting. His own community is trying to get this dude.
Stop fed posting. Stop saying the stuff that we normally say in our chat, guys. Oh, I'm gonna have to put it in emote. I'm gonna have to put it in emote mode again, bro. You can only spam hearts after that. You can only spam hearts to the terrorist manifesto. That's all you can do. No more talking about how it's based. It's fed posting, guys. It's gonna make me look bad. And we're all about optics here. We're not actually about being decent humans.
Thrown behind bars.
If new censorship rules get put in place on YouTube and Twitch and so on because of this idiot, I'm gonna throw this man off the Golden Gate Bridge myself. In a video game.
Well, there you go. That's what that's doing. I'm like, let's wrap it up and make it funny. There you go. I'll do it in a Mickey Mouse voice. Oh boy, looks like Hasan is in hot water. Look out, Pluto. The FBI might be looking for him. I can't keep that up. Somehow things just get a little worse in content creation, and Hasan's in the mix. Surprise, surprise.
Dude, every time, my dude, every single time this stuff happens.
Wait, is that Whitney?
Every time this stuff happens, bro, it's always wrapped around Hasan, dude. Lately, everything, he just has no chill. He just keeps ramping up the rhetoric, and no matter how hard the rhetoric is just sounding like, dude, it's so hard anymore for me to, like, go on Twitter, and I see these left-wing goon jobs and these like far right and far left-wing goon jobs. All they're doing is just like bouncing the most hateful rhetoric, and it sounds the same at this point. They all blame the same group of people every single time. It's getting pretty crazy, bro. It's almost like they're about to start shaving their mustache and do just a strip under their nose, dog. But anyways, that's my little ketchup on Hasan. We put him on the ketchup on and put the burger and threw it in the trash because it was a garbage burger and probably moldy. The Hasan burger is always moldy. But that's all I got for that one, guys. I hope you enjoyed another fun little rabbit hole on the Gooner of Twitch. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you on the next one.